The Confident Stock podcast is brought to you by My Evergreen Med Spa. Located in Houston in the Woodlands, My Evergreen Med Spa brings to you the latest aesthetic treatments in the most luxurious environment. Remember, My Evergreen Med Spa, it's me time elevated. Welcome to the Confidence Doctor podcast. I'm Dr. Rednam. I'm a board-certified plastic surgeon in Houston, and I am coming to you from the Angaro showroom in beautiful Paris. I did not think we'd be doing a podcast here, so I'm floored. And I have a very special guest who has now also become a dear friend. Please welcome to the show, Kelly Flores-New.
Yes, thank you very much. It's great to be here. It's great to be here in Paris with you. It's been a lot of fun, and we have more fun to come.
So you might be asking, how did we end up here? Well, I think it's really important for you to understand a little bit about Kelly to really understand how we ended up in such a beautiful place. So, Kelly, our listeners are always interested in fashion, beauty, health, everything that kind of makes us women.
Right.
And how did you get involved in what you do? And why don't you tell us just what it is you do?
I'm a stylist and image specialist. I've been working for 35 years. Before that, I had a store in Houston, and I work internationally now. But started, I think I told you a little bit, doing more corporate. I was a banker in Houston, grew up in a fashion family. At the time, I did not like the clothing at all. I felt like a man in a suit with a skirt. And so having the fashion background and marketing background and just being not happy with what was out there, I opened a store for executive and professional women, and it took off and was on the cover of Houston Women Magazine, Houston Business Journal, and Glamour's I Knew I Really Made It When section. They even still do that, and I was 23 at the time. And when I closed the store, I started doing individual consulting. We moved to England, and have been working internationally with clients ever since.
And we had talked yesterday. What was so interesting, I mean, you said at the time when you did that just really didn't exist. Now we think about oh yeah, they're stylists, and it's kind of a more common thing to hear about now.
Yes. No, at the time back in the 80s, you were an image consultant, and it's changed over the years. But no, there were very few. I was one of the first, and we take a lot of things for granted now, women's individual style, what we can wear, all the different things. But at the time, it was very cookie-cutter suits. It looked like, to me, a man's suit with a skirt, and very boring, and bow ties. And now we have so much choice and individuality, and that's what I love. And I love having clients look and feel amazing. That's my bottom line.
And I think that's, sometimes you'll ask me, well, you do things that are besides Plastic Surgeons podcast, but it's the same running theme, is that we're all trying to empower women, make them feel confident and beautiful.
Absolutely. And that's one of the most satisfying aspects of my job. I use job loosely because it's so much fun, but is to see the look on women's and men's faces when they put on something they love. It's just their face lights up, they stand straighter, and I have very few rules, but the only rule of my client is to love it and feel fabulous in it. Because if you don't at the moment, you're never going to, and those are the mistakes that end up in the closet.
That's right. I think many of us have things in the closet, you're like, maybe someday, or I'll wear that once, and it's just, there's no point to that.
No, there isn't. There isn't. I tell clients, beautiful clothes always come along. So be patient. Don't settle.
Yeah.
And if you don't love it, even if one little thing bothers you, if it can't be fixed, it's always going to bother you. And after doing this 35 years and being in at least hundreds of closets, there's a pattern. And so those things are the ones that you go, I'm not going to wear that. I really don't like the color, but I like the style. it was X label on sale, what a bargain, but I didn't really like it or like the fit. And those all become those mistakes that it'd be great if they all stayed in one section, the mistake corner, but they get mixed in with the things you really like and want to wear. And that's what leads to the closet full of clothes and nothing to wear.
How do you, so everybody's unique and different, right? Everybody has a little different style. So how do you really help people find what fits them? Because I know sometimes people will say, well, certain stylists, they're putting everybody in the exact same thing. And we obviously all can't wear the exact same thing and look good.
Absolutely. For me, it's drawing out a person's innate sense of style. And everybody has it. There's not one person that doesn't have it or know how they'd love to look. Well, they might not know, but at some level they do. And it may be that their voice in the back of the head is a mother or it's a husband, and they don't know you can't wear that, you're a redhead, or so I pull out very easily, for me, what is going to make them feel good, their criteria. You know, for some people it might be mix and match, others just want outfits, but in a process of asking questions, then I am able to identify and draw out and then help them evolve into define what they'd like to look like. And the other thing, I'm not, like I said, a rules person. You don't have to look one certain way.
No.
You can look like this and that, not this or that. Yeah. So that was always my issue with, there's been all kinds of things over the year, a country or a summer or whatever, because there are times I want to look really classic and elegant, and other times it's more bohemian. I have all different looks, but they all have to feel like me. And really, it is innate. When you put it on, everyone knows, like you could just tell by a person's face that they love it and they feel great in it. And that is my goal.
And, I think, Kelly's my stylist, and I can tell you it takes like 1 second, she looks in your face just like, no, put that back. But that's true. It's like really drawing out and reading people, and part of it is just getting to know that person, right? To know what they're like.
Absolutely, yes, and finding, okay, this style will work, and it's usually a little bit of a process. After the first or second time, okay, they don't like high neck lines. This is going to work better in proportion. I mean, you're amazing because you wear so many different looks and you're not limited. Some people will say, I can't wear long dresses because I'm under, I'm 5'2".
Yeah.
You rock them.
Heels are made. That's why we have heels.
Exactly. So it really is putting things on and going, how do I feel in this? Do I love it? And if you don't, leave it on the rack.
Do you follow trends at all when you're kind of recommending fashion, or do you really just kind of focus, like you said, on what the individual wants? Or really both?
Both, really. Obviously, I keep up on the trends. I mean, I work internationally, I go to the shows, I know the designers. It's, so I know what's coming. It's really fun in Paris. I think we were talking about to see things that are so different, and I can already identify, okay, this color is going to be coming into the States. You'll see the looks that will maybe get a diluted version. And some people are a little more trendier. I look at long-term trends too, so it's not in a season and out. And sometimes it's fun to get one or two of those pieces, but to build a wardrobe that it's constant. Buy new.
That's true.
A lot of my clients want kind of timeless, elegant, could be funky. So I advise, advise them and say, this is better than that, or we can do better. There are a few sayings
we can do
famous.
Like, well, and I love, we went to the YSL Museum, which was such a wonderful experience.
Beautiful.
And I love what you said, Laurent said, is that fashions come and go, but style is forever.
Absolutely.
And I think that no matter who you are, if that's how you shop, you're always going to look classic.
Right, exactly. And when it feels like you, and you feel great in it, you're not thinking about, I have this skirt on, I have this top on, I have this on. You're just, I feel amazing. And I can go out and conquer the world. When you don't like what you have on, that is the focus. You're thinking about it. So my goal is just to have you go out in the world and go, I feel great.
And I wonder how many of you can walk into your closet and be like, I could pick up anything and wear it. I literally couldn't do that. And I know that's a first world problem. But I would, I'd be like, this is okay. I'll wear this someday. Or, I had things from high school that I was like, you never know when it comes back.
Right.
And, after we met and we went through, I literally can walk in and be like, I can wear anything in here and I love it. And my closet's a lot smaller, but I'm much happier with how it looks.
Right. And that's been fun to see, and have you, that is like the biggest compliment for me, or it's my goal is to have you walk in, or any client walk in and go, I have what I need. And that is part of the planning too, when we know you have trips, you have special events, because that last minute shopping is also what leads to those mistakes.
The impulse buy.
Yes, if you don't, sometimes they're good.
Yeah.
But a lot of times you're under the gun, and so you buy something just because you need it, but you don't feel great in it.
Yeah.
So that is part of when I plan with clients, so that you have, like I think we did it, where we bought a couple of evening gowns or cocktail, and you said, well, I'm not sure what I'm going to wear this to.
Yeah.
I said, trust me, you will be happy.
It'll come up. Yeah.
You will have your lifestyle, you're going to have that, and you will be happy. You don't have to think about it, and have something you feel fabulous in.
And we have a lot of, professionals who listen, and a lot of surgeons as well. And I can tell you, it's just nice to have things planned out. I know that a lot of your clients are busy professionals, and so having someone who can help us dress to stand out, not just to blend in, is a big deal.
Yes. No, to have your own personal style. And I've had many come from federal judges to plastic surgery in various walks of life who say they love that when they go to a conference, even the male judges will say, I look forward to seeing what you have on because you always look great. And they have their getting ready. They have a consistent style, but it evolves over the years too. And that's nice for them as well.
And to me, fashion is art, right? And it's just another way that we can creatively express who we are. I had a guest on an earlier podcast, and we had talked about how everything in medicine with women is about blending in, being quiet, and I think we're all tired of that.
Right. Well, that's kind of where I started in the 80s, where it's like, why do I have to look like, why do any of the women, I started talking to other bankers, and they were like, oh, I hate this, but there's nothing out there. I'm like, we can be appropriate, because there is a balance, because I do work with, but you feel like you can feel great and have your individual style.
And I think I can wear color, and I don't have to necessarily wear the same role to be able to still educate, get my message across. Then I think it also translates that I'm really being me with my patients, and they feel that. And so I have patients who are like, I love seeing what you're going to wear. I'm like, my clinic wear, I wear this to clinic, and I love it.
You look fabulous, and you're great. Who doesn't want their plastic surgeon to look fabulous? And because there is she looks great, she's going to do great work.
That's right.
That is just kind of the way human nature is too. So
do you have like a fun story you could share with us about maybe a time you met a designer, just like something that would be interesting? I'm putting her on the spot.
I know you are.
I should put her on the spot.
You are. Oh gosh, I guess this was a kind of table turner where the university that my husband went to for his MBA, he's very involved in still, and on their fundraising. And a few years ago, we were in one of 17 people as a couple invited to have dinner with Prince Edward, who is now the Duke of Edinburgh.
Yeah.
And so there was a lot of pressure there. And so I did my research, and then I went out, and I was the person that said, okay, help me, all my contacts. I need to look and feel good, so I'm not self-conscious that night. And it was interesting to be kind of on the flip side. I mean, I know what I like, but I wanted a little more assistance, and I got it. And I felt felt great. Felt like a princess. Yeah.
Well, so you put your best foot forward when you feel that way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and it's, we're here today in the Ungaro and Kobe Halperin showroom and in Paris. And Kobe and I have developed a great relationship because he loves women to look great and feel great. And so that I really identify with. He's a great person too, and his designs are gorgeous. But I love that when I connect with someone, another designer, they really are interested in having women look their best, or men.
And, we talk in fashion a lot about fast fashion versus, where you have more handmade items. And I think that, there's obvious benefits to why people like fast fashion. But I think that sometimes when you really invest in yourself and you choose maybe less items you really get something more unique, right? Why do you want to look like every single person?
Absolutely. And when you buy what you love, you're okay about having it in your closet a long time because you may put it up for a few years and pull it back out, but that is, whenever I hear someone who says, oh, if you haven't worn it in a year, move it out.
Yeah.
I think, no, you read a book, and now you're repeating that, because I can tell you after all of these years of doing what I do, that is absolutely not true. Sometimes it is, but really the bottom line should still be, do you love it? Feel great in it? I've heard every reason why someone would keep something in their closet for maybe my child might need a costume. I might lose pounds, gain pounds, and so when they'll say, yes, I'm planning on losing weight, I always ask them, well, if you could wear it at this moment, would you?
Yeah.
And a lot of times the answer is no.
Oh, yeah.
So out it goes. I help clients make decisions so that it becomes automatic for them and not just like, a lot of people are a little afraid I'm going to walk into their closet and go, what were you thinking?
Don't judge me.
That is horrible, because it is very personal letting someone into your closet. And but I'm not. My goal is to educate clients too, so then you suddenly are aware of, oh, you know what? I know why I don't like that, why I didn't wear it. And it's information you can use if I'm not there. I've had clients say that in their head they have, what would Kelly do? What would Kelly say if I'm not there? And they usually know the answer.
Well, we were shopping yesterday, and she's trying to figure out a pair of shoes. I'm like, well, what would you say to yourself?
Right. And I love the shoes, the sandals. I had them on this morning admiring my shoe purchases. I did love them. I love them on my foot, but I was thinking, okay, how am I going to wear these?
Yeah.
Am I going to wear these? And in what way? And then the final decision after much was, I love them. I will be sad.
Yeah.
I will be sad if I don't take them on with me. So.
Well, it's a running joke I have with my patients afterwards is, the only negative side effect to having body contouring is you're going to go shopping.
Right.
They usually get a chuckle, especially if their spouse is there with them. But it's true, because to me, it's not just a makeover. If you're choosing to change something about your body, you're changing everything. And so to me, it's just natural that you're going to want to go out there and shop, and just because you want to feel beautiful.
Right, absolutely. And that is a lot of times when someone will say, I'm going to lose weight, or I'm having, a procedure. You want you don't want what you had. Even if you altered it.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some things you'll do, but you want something that makes you feel great how you are right then, because we do evolve.
Yes, that's true.
What we wore 10 years ago, we may or may not, where our style kind of changes.
Yeah.
But as an example, I'd say a lot of what I brought to Paris is not new. They are pieces like the Kobe jacket I had on last night. It's from 2017, 18. But I still, when I put it on, I go, I love this. I love wearing it.
Well, that's also why when you really invest in beautiful clothing, it is a long-term item.
Absolutely.
You can't think of it as, well, I'm going to use one season and then I'm going to pitch it.
Absolutely.
And I think it's more sustainable long-term too as well.
It is. I mean, when you read, I think Europe is a little bit ahead of us on this, on sustainability, and educating people on the amount of clothing and textiles that goes into landfills, and I can't do that. One goes against my philosophies. And I'll say there'll be a piece or two that I'll buy, but I am definitely a long-term person and price per wear. So I tell clients too, like, you may spend more, but if you love it, it may cost you pennies.
Yes.
When you look at how much you've worn it.
And I was really impressed. We were at the Galleries Lafayette yesterday, and the number of, like, in this beautiful shopping area, there's all these secondhands, like gently worn, and I'm like, wow, this is a fashion capital of the world, and they are still encouraging to be, recycle your clothing. Yes. Pre-loved, right? And I thought that was very nice.
It is really nice. It keeps, when they're beautiful pieces or really nice pieces, you might not like them anymore, but it's great to pass them on to someone who might and who does. So I love that.
So Kelly, if you were to give 3 tips to somebody who's like, you know what, I do want to kind of pep up my wardrobe, I do want to change, what are like 3 tips that someone could do themselves?
You can go through your own wardrobe. It's not the easiest thing to do. It's a task that we put off. I could spend a day in a client's closet, and in mine I go, okay, that's good for today. But really go through and look at, how do I feel when I wear this? And if the answer's not great or it's okay, what I tell clients or anyone is, do you want to feel okay or do you want to feel great? And so then ask yourselves, with those okay pieces or something, what stops you from wearing it?
Yeah.
And I would take a notepad, have it there, make notes, and find out, because we can find out almost more from what we're not wearing. What stops you from wearing that?
Yeah.
It may be that you bought it and you love it, but you never found the blouse. You never found the matching pieces. So really go through your closet and then move out those pieces that you don't feel great in. And trust me, your clients will say, a new client, I'm afraid I won't have anything. I'm going to be naked. I'm like, no, you won't be. I won't let you be, but you won't.
Yeah.
And if you weren't, or you did, you didn't feel great in them. Most people just aren't wearing them. It's just mixed up into the... So look at that and then kind of make a list. Ask yourself, what do I like? What do I want? What do I need in a wardrobe? So there's a plan. Because it's that hit or miss shopping that also leads to a closet full of clothes and nothing to wear. Might have cute pieces, but you don't have full outfits.
And for people who say, gosh, that's so much money, well, it's a lot of money to buy clothes that you never wear.
Right.
It's a lot of waste to have things that you don't wear. So, if you take this little extra time, you end up with a closet full of things you love.
Absolutely. And I would say most of my clients find that they have less in their closets, like you've said, but what they have, they wear and they love wearing.
Yes.
And that's the bottom line goal, is to feel great in what you're wearing and have things that you wear.
Yeah.
So, and less is more.
Less is more.
Yeah.
And Kelly, if somebody listening today was like, gosh, she seems great, I'd really like to, find her, what's the best way for someone to reach out to you?
You can find me on Instagram on Style Vagabond. You can also look up Kelly Flores-New. Style Vagabond will come up. You can email me, but I'd say message me through Instagram is the easiest and fastest, because I'm on there a lot, and that's what I see, quickly.
And I can tell you, if you're thinking about it, don't hesitate. Honestly, I can tell you in a very positive way, Kelly's improved my life.
Thank you. Thank you.
And people can argue it's clothes, but clothes mean a lot to different people. And for me, style and fashion are just make me happy. Yeah. They make me so happy. So
well, that's good. I make me very happy too, and it's been super fun to be here in Paris with you and to be a guest here.
And it also helps to have wonderful friends who can get you to Paris into beautiful showrooms.
Right.
So, just another little
Aim to please.
Well, thank you so much for being on this episode.
Thank you so much.
I hope you all enjoyed this. Like I said, if you've been like, well, I'm not a stylish person, all of us have it in us.
We do.
All of us have it in
Absolutely.
us. So you just never know. Sometimes you just need to take a little leap and try something different.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
So thank you so much for joining us on this episode of The Confident Stock. Please check out Kelly. You will absolutely love her if you meet her and everybody that she knows. And stay tuned for next week when we have another fun, exciting episode of The Confident Stock.